The sun burned low over the red desert, turning the endless sands into rivers of fire. Nilo squinted against the glare as he guided the small rover over a ridge. His boots crunched on the dry, cracked ground as he climbed down to the flat plains. Below, the air was thin, dry, and still, carrying a strange metallic scent that made Rena wrinkle her nose. She followed closely behind, carrying her scanner and notes, her eyes scanning the horizon for anything unusual. "Look over there," Rena said, pointing to a slight rise in the sand. Nilo crouched and brushed a layer of dust with his hand. The ground underneath was not natural. A faint line ran across the surface, a boundary of some kind. "This is it," he said. "The readings show something large beneath the sand. It could be the structure we were looking for." They had been exploring this planet for months, following rumors and old star maps about lost civilizations. Nothing had prepared them for this. The sand around them was undisturbed, almost as if it had been waiting for centuries to reveal the secret hidden beneath. Nilo and Rena exchanged a glance. They both felt the same mix of excitement and fear that always came when humans discovered something untouched, an ancient dot with careful movements. They began to clear the sand. Their hands worked quickly, revealing the edge of a dark stone surface. It was perfectly flat and strange to touch, as though it had been cut by tools far more precise than any humans currently possessed. As they brushed away more sand, intricate symbols appeared, carved into the stone in lines that seemed to pulse slightly under their touch. Rena leaned closer. "These are not just decorations," she whispered. "They are writing. I have never seen anything like this." Nilo nodded. "It looks like a tomb," he said. "A burial place. But not like any tomb humans have made. This is different. Old, very old, and maybe dangerous." The structure took shape slowly as they worked. It was larger than they had imagined, like a small fortress buried beneath the desert. The entrance was shaped like a wide arch, carved from a single massive block of stone. Above it were the masks, lined up like sentinels staring at the sky. Each mask was unique, some with smooth, calm faces, others with fierce expressions. They looked like kings, silent watchers of the past. Rena's fingers trembled as she reached out to touch one of the masks. "Do you think they were real people?" she asked. Nilo placed a hand on her shoulder to steady her. "Maybe," he said. "Or maybe they are more than that. We need to be careful. This place is old and powerful. There could be traps or systems that still work." The air grew cooler as they approached the entrance. The wind whispered around the tomb, moving the sand like small waves. Nilo felt a shiver run down his spine. "It feels alive," he said. Rena nodded, her eyes wide. "I think it is. I think this tomb was built for more than just resting. It might be protecting something important." They decided to set up camp near the tomb for the night. Lights from the rover cast long shadows on the stone walls, and the masks seemed to watch them from above. Nilo started a small fire, and Rena began her scans. The machines hummed softly, picking up faint energy readings. The symbols on the tomb walls glowed a little in response, though no one touched them. It was as if the structure was aware of their presence, studying them quietly. Night fell completely, and the desert became colder. The sky was filled with stars, countless points of light that made the planet feel smaller and lonelier. Nilo and Rena sat by the fire, sharing water and rations, both feeling the weight of what they had discovered. "If this is really a tomb of kings, we are the first humans to see it in thousands of years," Nilo said. "We need to respect it, understand it before we touch anything." Rena nodded. "But we also need to be ready. If this tomb has secrets, someone else could come for them. Or maybe the tomb itself will test us. We have to be careful tomorrow." They slept lightly near the fire, the masks looming silently in the shadows. Every so often, Nilo woke to glance at them. Their expressions seemed almost alive in the flickering light. Some were calm, others stern, but all of them carried a weight of judgment, as if they were waiting for the humans to prove they were worthy. By the time the first light of dawn painted the desert in pale gold, Nilo and Rena were ready. The tomb awaited them. It had been silent for centuries, but now it had visitors. And the silent kings, long forgotten by time, might finally awaken to witness the courage of humans. The morning sun rose slowly over the desert, casting long golden rays across the tomb. Nilo and Rena packed their equipment carefully, their eyes constantly on the masks above the entrance. The air was still, almost holding its breath, as if the planet itself waited for their next move. "Are you ready?" Nilo asked, his voice low. Rena nodded, gripping her scanner tightly. "We have to be careful. This place is old and clever. It might test us," she said. Together, they stepped toward the entrance, the stone cold under their hands. As they crossed the threshold, a soft hum filled the air. It started quietly, almost like a whisper, and then grew louder. The masks above the door glowed faintly, casting pale light over the walls. Nilo felt a shiver run down his spine. "It's reacting to us," he whispered. Rena pressed her scanner against the wall. "The energy is unusual. I have never seen anything like this. It is alive in a way, but not like a creature. It is more like a mind." The inner chamber was enormous. The walls were lined with carvings of stars, strange ships, and figures wearing the same masks that watched them outside. The floor was smooth stone, polished over time, reflecting the soft glow from the masks. Nilo stepped carefully, feeling the hum grow stronger under his feet. Suddenly, the masks on the walls began to move. Not fully, but a subtle shift in their positions, as if they were turning their gaze toward the humans. Rena froze. "Nilo, did you see that?" she asked. He nodded. "I saw. I think the tomb is alive. It is watching us, learning us." They moved deeper into the chamber. The carvings on the walls seemed to change as they walked. Images shifted, telling stories of humans who looked like them, exploring stars long before their time. Nilo could not believe it. "These are humans," he said softly. "Long before us, they built this tomb. These are the Silent Kings." Rena stepped forward, scanning a panel near the center of the room. "The energy readings are strongest here. This might be the heart of the tomb. If the tomb is alive, this is where it thinks or remembers." The panel had a circular design, like a mask surrounded by symbols. When she touched it, the hum rose sharply, and a holographic image appeared above the stone. The figure was tall, wearing a long robe and a mask that seemed almost alive. Its eyes glowed softly. Nilo stepped back. "What is that?" he asked. The figure raised its hand slightly and spoke in a language they did not understand. Then the voice changed. In perfect human tones, it said, "Welcome, visitors. You have awakened the guardians. Only the worthy may pass." Rena's eyes widened. "Guardians? Worthy? This tomb is testing us," she whispered. Nilo felt a thrill of excitement and fear. They had read about such legends in ancient records, but no one had ever found proof until now. The hologram continued. "To enter the deeper chambers, you must show courage, wisdom, and respect. Only those who understand the past may inherit the future." A bright light flashed across the walls, and the floor began to glow, revealing patterns that looked like paths. "We have to follow them," Nilo said. Rena nodded, scanning the glowing paths. "They are changing as we move. We need to think carefully. One wrong step, and it might close or trap us." They stepped carefully, following the light. Each path led them past carvings that told more stories of the Silent Kings. Some showed battles with unknown creatures, Others depicted strange machines that moved without people. Nilo felt awe. These humans were more advanced than we are. Now, he said, they traveled stars we do not even know exist. Suddenly, one of the glowing paths split. Nilo paused. Which way? He asked. Rena studied the symbols. The carvings here show balance. I think we should take the path on the right. The tomb responds to understanding, not just following. Instinct. Nilo agreed, and they moved carefully. The hum of the tomb grew louder, almost like it approved of their choice. The air changed as they reached a small chamber. The temperature dropped, and the glow of the masks above dimmed. In the center was a pedestal with a single mask resting on it. The mask was unlike the others, shining with a soft golden light. Rena stepped closer, scanning it. This is the first test, she said. The tomb wants us to interact, but gently. We cannot force it. Nilo reached out, touching the mask lightly. The golden light spread through the chamber, wrapping around them in warmth. Images filled their minds, not with words, but with feelings, courage, unity, respect, and understanding. Nilo realized the tomb was teaching them, showing them what the silent kings valued most. When the light faded, the mask stayed calm on the pedestal, but the hum continued softly. Nilo looked at Rena. We passed the first trial, he said. But I have a feeling there are more. The tomb is testing everything about us, Rena nodded. And each test will be harder. But we have to continue. This tomb has secrets that could change everything humans know about themselves and the stars. They turned toward the deeper chambers, hearts pounding with both fear and excitement. The tomb had awakened, and now watched them closely, waiting for what humans would do next. The deeper chamber was darker than the first, though soft light glowed from symbols carved into the walls. Nilo and Rena stepped carefully, feeling the hum of the tomb grow stronger with each step. The air smelled faintly metallic, and every sound echoed as if the walls themselves were listening. This place is incredible, Nilo whispered. It is like walking inside a memory. Rena nodded, her eyes scanning the carvings on the walls. They showed more of the silent kings' lives. Some masks were carved into battle scenes, others into ceremonies. Humans from long ago had explored planets, built ships, and faced dangers that were now only stories in the stars. Suddenly, the floor shifted under Nilo's feet. A panel slid open, revealing a low wall of light that blocked the path ahead. Nilo stopped. A test, he said. Rena examined the glowing barrier. It responds to movement, not force. We need to think, not push. The tomb wants to see how we react. Nilo studied the carvings around the barrier. One showed a group of humans lifting a mask together, working in harmony. Another showed humans helping one another across a dangerous cliff. It wants cooperation, he said. We cannot go alone. Rena nodded and stepped closer. We will need to work together. We cannot be selfish here. They moved slowly, testing the barrier. As Nilo reached toward the edge, the light pulsed softly. When Rena placed her hand beside his, the barrier shimmered and split slightly. They took it as a sign and continued, hands moving in sync to guide each other through the path dot at the end. Of the glowing wall, they entered a room filled with mirrors. Not ordinary mirrors, but tall reflective surfaces that seemed to stretch endlessly. Nilo looked into one and froze. His reflection shifted slightly, showing a version of him with fear in his eyes, frozen and alone. Rena gasped as her reflection moved differently too, showing doubt and hesitation she did not feel. These are illusions, Nilo said quickly. The tomb is testing our minds. He took a deep breath. We must trust ourselves and each other. Do not listen to what the viewership of the not listen to what the loves in of the none I listen to. Mirrors show. Rena nodded and held his hand as they stepped forward. The mirrors shifted again, showing visions of them failing or turning away. Nilo felt a tight knot in his chest, but he reminded himself of the lessons from the first chamber. Courage, respect, unity. Slowly they moved past the illusions, ignoring the false reflections. The mirrors dimmed and finally vanished, leaving a single mask floating in the center of the room. It glowed with a soft blue light, different from the golden mask in the first chamber. Rena stepped forward. "This is another trial," she said. "The tomb wants to see if we face fear without giving into it." Nilo reached out, and the mask responded to his touch. The blue light spread across the room, and visions filled their minds again. This time, it was not feelings of courage, but choices. They saw paths they could take, some selfish, some generous. Each choice had consequences for others. Nilo realized the tomb was showing them the value of wisdom and empathy. Rena smiled softly. "It is teaching us to think about everyone, not just ourselves." The Silent Kings wanted humans to grow, to understand responsibility. Nilo nodded. "We are learning what they valued most. This knowledge will help us survive the rest of the tomb." After the visions ended, the mask floated down to the floor. A hidden doorway opened behind it, leading to a spiral staircase descending into darkness. The hum of the tomb was stronger now, almost like a heartbeat. Nilo and Rena exchanged a glance. They were tired, but determination burned in their eyes. "We cannot stop now," Nilo said. "The tomb will reveal its secrets only if we continue." As they descended the staircase, the walls glowed with symbols that shifted as they moved. The hum seemed to follow them, wrapping around their senses. Rena kept scanning, noting every pattern and energy change. "The tomb is alive," she said quietly. "It reacts to us, learns from us. It may even guide us if we do right." They reached the bottom, entering a chamber filled with strange machinery. Towers of metal and crystal glowed softly, connected by thin beams of light. Nilo looked around in awe. "This is technology," he said, "not magic. The Silent Kings built this with their minds and hands. It is far beyond anything we know." Rena moved closer to one of the machines, her eyes wide. "It is beautiful," she said, "and it feels welcoming, as if it wants to share knowledge, not harm us." Nilo nodded. "But we must still be careful. The tomb is alive. We must show respect and wisdom in everything we do here." As they explored the chamber, the masks above glowed softly, like eyes watching over them. The tomb had tested their courage and cooperation. It had shown them the value of empathy and wisdom. Nilo realized they had passed the second trial, but he knew the deeper chambers would demand even more. The Silent Kings had built these tests not only to guard knowledge, but to prepare humans for something greater. Nilo and Rena took a deep breath, ready to continue. The tomb had awakened, and every step forward promised both danger and discovery. Humanity's courage and wisdom would be tested again, and the Silent Kings waited silently to see if the humans were worthy of their legacy. The lower chamber was colder, and the hum of the tomb pulsed steadily, like a heartbeat that echoed in their chests. Nilo and Rena stepped carefully among the glowing machinery, aware that every movement was observed. The walls here were carved with deeper stories of the Silent Kings. They showed journeys across stars, encounters with strange worlds, and the careful balance between knowledge and power. "This place is more than a tomb," Rena whispered. "It is a library, a school, and a test all at once." Nilo nodded, feeling both awe and caution. "And it is alive. It responds to our actions, our courage, and our respect. We must continue wisely." As they moved toward the center of the chamber, a sudden vibration ran through the floor. The glow from the machinery brightened, and a faint image appeared in the air, a holographic map of the tomb's deepest chambers. Nilo stepped closer. "Look at this." The tomb is showing us the next path. It might be guiding us because we passed the previous trials. Rena examined the map. It is not all clear. Some paths are blocked or dangerous. We need to choose carefully. Nilo studied the glowing lines. We have done well so far because we work together. Let us keep that. Together, we can face whatever comes next. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the chamber. The glowing machinery shifted, and the entrance staircase they had come down from slid shut with a solid thud. Nilo's heart beat faster. The tomb is testing our courage again, he said. It wants us to move forward, not retreat. Before they could step further, a shadow moved in the corner. Rena tensed. Did you see that? She asked. Nilo nodded, cautious. From the darkness, another team of humans emerged. They were explorers like them, dressed in similar suits, and their leader raised a hand in greeting. I am Dara, the leader said. We followed the same energy readings. It seems the tomb is active. You are the first team here? Nilo nodded. Yes, I am Nilo, and this is Rena. We have passed some trials. The tomb is alive and watches everything. Dara smiled, but with a trace of tension. We came to study it too. But this tomb does not allow everyone to pass easily. We need to work together carefully. Nilo and Rena exchanged a glance. They could sense the other team's skills, but also their eagerness. We should share what we know, Nilo said. The tomb rewards cooperation. Rena stepped forward. We passed the courage and cooperation trials. There are illusions and choices ahead. If we unite, we can help each other understand the tomb's tests. Dara nodded. Agreed. Let us continue as one team. The tomb seemed to respond immediately. The hum softened, and a new pathway opened, leading deeper into a spiral corridor. The walls here were darker, but small glowing symbols guided the way. As they walked, the carvings told stories of humans protecting knowledge across centuries, passing lessons from one generation to the next. Rena studied the symbols carefully. The Silent Kings valued intelligence and teamwork. It built this tomb to test not only courage but wisdom and unity. We must remember that every step counts. Nilo looked at the new team. We cannot rush. The tomb does not respond to speed but to understanding. The corridor opened into a room shaped like a dome. Light poured from the ceiling, revealing a pool of liquid crystal in the center. Floating above it were several masks, each glowing with different colors. The hologram of a silent king appeared, wearing a golden mask, and its voice echoed across the chamber. Visitors, the tomb now tests unity and trust. Only those who work together and respect one another may reach the heart of knowledge. The masks above the pool began to rotate slowly, casting light across the room. Nilo stepped closer, studying them. These masks are different. Each color may represent a trial. We need to choose wisely and together. Dara and the others gathered beside them. We can divide tasks, Dara suggested, but no one can act alone. The tomb requires cooperation, Nilo agreed. We must communicate constantly. The tomb tests our unity more than anything now. The first mask glowed a soft green. As Nilo reached toward it, the pool rippled, showing visions of challenges they might face. Some showed fear, others greed or selfishness. Nilo understood. This is a reflection of our choices. We must act with integrity and wisdom. Rena stepped forward, touching the edge of the pool. Light flowed into her hands, and she felt warmth and clarity. The tomb is teaching us to trust each other, she said. We cannot make mistakes alone. Every decision affects the whole team. The new team nodded in agreement. They formed a circle around the pool, placing their hands lightly on its surface. The masks glowed brighter, and a low, harmonious sound filled the dome. The tomb responded, opening a hidden doorway that led further down into darkness. Nilo looked at everyone. We have passed another test, but the deeper chambers will challenge our unity even more. The Silent Kings designed this tomb to see if humans could rise above fear and selfishness. Dara smiled, though cautiously. We will face it together. The tomb watches us, and it will reward those who prove worthy. Nilo nodded, feeling determination. They stepped into the hidden doorway, hearts beating with excitement and anticipation. The tomb's secrets were closer than ever, and the Silent Kings were waiting silently to see what humans could achieve. The hidden doorway led the team into a vast chamber unlike any they had seen. The walls glowed with a soft, pulsing light, and strange crystals floated above the floor, moving gently as if alive. Nilo, Rena, Dara, and the others paused to take in the sight. The tomb seemed more alive than ever, and the hum that ran through it had grown deeper, like a slow drumbeat guiding their steps. This is the heart of the tomb, Nilo said softly. The Silent Kings must have built this place to test everything about us: courage, wisdom, and now endurance. Rena nodded. And unity. Every step we take affects everyone else. We must stay careful and alert. As they moved forward, a new challenge appeared. The floor ahead was not solid, but a grid of floating platforms, glowing faintly. Between the platforms were gaps filled with light that shifted and pulsed. One wrong step could lead to falling into the glowing void. Nilo studied the platforms. The tomb tests trust. We must move together, slowly, and rely on each other to choose the right path. Dara took the lead, testing the first platforms carefully. Each time she stepped, the platform beneath her glowed brighter, as if approving her choice. Rena and Nilo followed, moving in sync. The new team members followed, but hesitated at times, unsure of which platform would hold their weight. The tomb seemed to respond to hesitation, flickering and pulsing faster. This is a lesson, Rena whispered. Fear slows us down. Confidence and trust guide us. Nilo nodded. We must communicate. Each step must be agreed upon. The tomb rewards clarity and unity. Slowly, the team moved across the floating platforms. Some required balancing on one foot or leaning carefully to reach the next. Others shifted slightly as they stepped, testing their coordination. At one point, Nilo nearly lost his balance, but Rena caught his arm just in time. Dara reached forward and helped another member regain footing. Each act of support caused the platforms to glow steadier, and the tomb seemed to approve their unity. Finally, they reached the far side of the chamber. A large archway of glowing crystal awaited them, its surface etched with symbols of stars, planets, and human figures. Nilo examined it. This is another trial, he said. The Silent Kings want to see if we learn from the previous rooms. They want to see courage, teamwork, and wisdom together. Rena stepped forward and traced the carvings with her hand. Light flowed from her fingertips into the archway. The symbols began to move, showing visions of humans traveling across galaxies, building civilizations and protecting knowledge. Some humans were brave, others made mistakes, but all faced choices that required careful thought. This is teaching us, Nilo said. We must think before we act, plan together, and protect each other. Knowledge is powerful, but only when used wisely. Dara and the others watched in awe. The tomb had shifted again, testing not just their courage and trust, but their ability to learn from the past. As the visions ended, the archway glowed brighter and slowly opened, revealing a spiral ramp descending into darkness. The hum of the tomb grew stronger, almost like a heartbeat speeding up. The next trial is coming, Nilo said. We cannot turn back. The Silent Kings are asking us to prove ourselves again. The team entered the spiral ramp. The walls were smooth, reflecting their images as they moved. Occasionally, glowing symbols appeared, showing creatures, ships, and humans from long ago. Rena studied them. "These are lessons," she said. "The tomb reminds us of the past, so we do not repeat mistakes." The Silent Kings wanted humans to grow, to be responsible, and to protect knowledge. As they descended deeper, a faint wind began to blow through the corridor. It carried whispers of old voices, soft and distant. Nilo shivered, but stayed focused. The tomb tests our focus. We must not be distracted. Every sound, every vision, and every step is part of the lesson. Suddenly, a large door appeared at the bottom of the ramp. It was made of crystal and metal, etched with the faces of the Silent Kings. A single mass floated before it, glowing silver. The tomb's voice echoed once more. "Those who reach this threshold must prove unity, courage, and wisdom together. Only those worthy may pass to the final chamber." The team looked at each other, determination shining in their eyes. Nilo spoke first. "We have faced fear, illusions, and choices. We have learned to trust each other and work together. We are ready for the next trial." Rena nodded. "We must act as one. No one moves alone. Every action affects the whole team. This is what the Silent Kings want us to understand." Dara stepped forward, placing her hand on the silver mask. Light spread across the chamber, enveloping everyone in a warm glow. Each member felt strength and courage fill them. The tomb seemed to hum in approval. Slowly, the crystal door began to open, revealing a golden glow beyond. Nilo smiled. "We have passed another test. The heart of the tomb awaits, and with it, the knowledge of the Silent Kings." Together, the team stepped forward into the golden light, ready to face the final challenges of the masked tomb. The Silent Kings watched silently, waiting to see if humans were worthy of their greatest secrets. The golden light bathed the team as they stepped into the chamber. It was vast and circular, with walls that shimmered like liquid metal. In the center floated a massive mask, larger than any they had seen before, carved with delicate patterns that seemed to move under the light. The hum of the tomb was louder here, deeper, like a pulse that filled the chamber with life. "This must be it," Nilo whispered. The heart of the tomb, where the Silent Kings reveal their final test. Rena moved closer to the mask, eyes wide with wonder. "It is beautiful and powerful. I feel like it is looking at us, judging us silently." Dara stepped forward cautiously. "The tomb is alive. It reacts to our presence and our intentions. Every thought and action matters here." She turned to the team. "We must stay united. The final trial will test everything we have learned." As they moved closer to the floating mask, a series of lights appeared on the floor, forming a path. Each step along the path projected visions into the air. Nilo saw images of humans facing fear, helping each other, solving complex problems, and protecting knowledge. Some humans failed, turning away from danger or acting selfishly, while others succeeded through courage, wisdom, and teamwork. "These visions are lessons," Rena said softly. "The Silent Kings want to see if we understand what it means to be responsible and united. This is more than courage or trust. It is about knowing what is right." The mask began to descend slowly toward them. Its glow intensified, and the air felt alive with energy. A voice, calm but powerful, filled the chamber. "Those who enter the heart of the tomb must show the harmony of mind, heart, and action. Only when humans act as one, with wisdom and courage, can the knowledge of the Silent Kings be revealed." Nilo stepped forward and spoke clearly. "We are ready. We have faced fear, illusions, and choices. We have learned to trust and support each other. We have acted together, and now we offer our unity and understanding." The mask shifted, showing new visions. Each member of the team saw themselves making decisions that could help or harm others. Nilo saw himself hesitating to save someone, then choosing courage. Rena saw herself guiding the team through confusion with patience and wisdom. Dara saw herself sharing knowledge freely, without pride or fear. The tomb seemed to respond. The mask glowed brighter, and the air vibrated with energy. Light streams connected each team member to the mask, forming a web of golden threads that pulsed in harmony with their hearts. They felt strength, clarity, and understanding flow through them, connecting every thought and action. "This is it," Rena said. "The tomb shows us how our actions affect each other. The Silent Kings built this place to teach humans to be responsible for knowledge, courage, and unity. We are part of something greater than ourselves." The mask descended further, stopping just above their heads. Its patterns shifted into symbols they had seen before: faces, stars, and planets, but now connected by lines that formed a map of possibilities and lessons. The tomb's voice spoke again. "You have learned the ways of courage, trust, wisdom, and unity. You are ready to receive the knowledge of the Silent Kings." A beam of light extended from the mask, entering the minds of the team. Memories of ancient civilizations, technologies, and stories of human and alien worlds flowed through them. They saw the mistakes of the past, the victories of cooperation, and the potential for the future. Knowledge was not given as a tool for power, but as guidance for responsibility, understanding, and growth. Nilo closed his eyes, absorbing the wisdom. This is what the tomb wanted us to learn. True strength is in unity, courage, and wisdom, not in selfish desire. The Silent Kings prepared this trial to see if humans could rise to their ideals. Rena opened her eyes, smiling. "We understand now. The tomb is not just a challenge or a test. It is a teacher. Every room, every illusion, every trial guided us to this moment." Dara nodded. "And we succeeded because we worked together. Alone, we might have failed. Together, we unlocked the heart of the tomb." The mask lifted slowly and ascended to the ceiling, returning the chamber to its glowing calm. The golden threads faded, but the sense of unity and wisdom remained within. The team, they looked at each other, hearts full of pride and understanding. "This is only the beginning," Nilo said. "The knowledge we received is a gift, but also a responsibility. The Silent Kings entrusted it to humans who can act wisely and protect what matters." Rena added, "We must carry this wisdom into the world. The tomb may be silent, but its lessons will guide us forever." Dara smiled, her voice steady and strong. "The masked tomb of Silent Kings has shown us the best humans can be. Now, we must live up to it." Together, they stepped toward the exit, ready to leave the tomb. The path behind them glowed one last time, as if acknowledging their success. The trials were complete, and the Silent Kings had been silent no longer. They had watched, tested, and now entrusted humanity with their greatest lessons. The team climbed the final steps of the tomb, the golden light fading behind them as the entrance came into view. The desert stretched endlessly under the early morning sun, sand glowing softly with the first light of day. Nilo, Rena, Dara, and the others paused at the entrance, taking a moment to breathe. They had faced fear, illusions, and trials beyond imagination, and now they had emerged stronger and wiser. Nilo looked at the horizon. "We have seen what the Silent Kings wanted us to see. We have learned the value of courage, trust, unity, and wisdom. But the real test begins now outside the tomb." Rena nodded. "The knowledge we carry is not for pride or power. It is a responsibility. We must use it to help others, to guide, and to protect what is important." Dara smiled, brushing sand from her sleeve. "The tomb gave us lessons, but it also gave us each other. We know now that teamwork and support make humans capable of more than we could imagine alone." As they walked away from the tomb, the wind carried a soft hum, almost as if the Silent Kings were still watching, still guiding. The desert seemed less empty now, filled with purpose and promise. Every grain of sand reminded them that the world beyond the tomb was vast and full of possibilities. The team returned to their ship, its metal surface shining under the sun. The journey back to their home world would take time, but each step was lighter than before. They had carried burdens into the tomb, fears and doubts, and now they carried clarity, confidence, and unity. During the flight, Nilo studied the notes they had taken and the visions they had seen. The Silent Kings left more than technology or maps. They left lessons about responsibility. Every action, every choice affects others. That is the true power they wanted to share. Rena added, "We must remember the trials. The floating platforms, the illusions, the visions of the past. All of it taught us that fear, selfishness, or haste can lead to failure. Courage, patience, and unity lead to success." Dara leaned back, eyes on the stars outside the ship. "And we are not alone. Humanity has potential. The Silent Kings showed us the path, but it is up to us to walk it. We must guide others, share what we learned, and protect the knowledge wisely." When they arrived home, they were greeted as explorers who had returned from a journey no one else could imagine. But the team did not speak of glory or treasures. Instead, they shared lessons. Communities listened as Nilo spoke of courage, Rena explained unity, and Dara described wisdom. The stories of the Silent Kings inspired humans to work together, to protect knowledge, and to grow without fear. The impact was slow but steady. Humans began to plan their projects carefully, considering consequences. They built systems to share knowledge safely and fairly. They formed teams that valued trust and support over selfish ambition. The lessons from the tomb spread quietly, shaping lives without the need for force or command. One evening, the team gathered to look at the stars. Nilo pointed to a distant cluster. "The Silent Kings are far away, but their lessons are with us. They have trusted humanity to grow. We must honor that trust every day." Rena smiled. "We will not forget. The tomb may be silent, but its guidance is alive in us. Every decision we make, every act of courage or wisdom, honors their legacy." Dara nodded, eyes shining. "The mass tomb tested us, shaped us, and left us with purpose. Now, it is our turn to make the world better. One choice, one act, and one lesson at a time." As night fell, the team sat together in quiet reflection. The stars shone like distant crystals, a reminder of the beauty, mystery, and responsibility of the universe. They had entered the tomb seeking knowledge, but they had found something greater, the strength within themselves and within humanity to rise to its potential. And so, the masked tomb of Silent Kings remained, hidden yet watching, waiting for the next group who would seek its trials. The team, now wiser and united, had returned to the world above, carrying lessons that would guide generations. Their journey had ended, but its effects would ripple through time, shaping the future with courage, unity, and wisdom. The tomb's light faded from view, but its story lived on in every person who remembered that true strength comes not from fear or power, but from learning, understanding, and working together. Humanity had passed the test, and the Silent King's legacy would continue, silent but eternal, in the hearts of those who chose to follow its lessons.